Welcome back to the channel, everybody. After a long wait, I finally have another video. And I have rear cam included in the video this time. I was able to download a video editor that allowed me to do the overlay, so it looks even better. So this is the Clarendon Cup. This is the Cat 2-3 race. This is part of the 2-day Armed Forces Cycling Classic that happens every year in Arlington, so local for the DC area people. And it's a big deal. This race brings in a lot of pros. This year was a lot of international folks, which was really cool. And this race I always try to do well in. I've been watching this race for almost 10, 11 years, and it's always been a goal of mine to do very well at this race. So this time around, I finally finished this race. The last 2 years I've tried to do it, I was pulled early because this race is notoriously very hard, and to be honest, I just was not fit enough to finish the last couple of years, so I'm very proud to not only finish, but actually get a decent result this year. But let's get right into the race. You can see the course in the top right. It's pretty hard to be efficient on a course like this. This sharp left here, you kind of have to scrub a little speed. You can take it wide, but you're coming into a false flat. And unfortunately, the pavement's gotten even worse. So in years past, the pavement's already been not great on the start-finish straight. But the last couple of days, even before this race went off, there were people doing construction on this road, so it was very bad. There were a couple pretty bad potholes. I think a couple people got some pinch flats, so it was definitely a little sketchy. But we're going to fast forward a little more now. We're on lap 4 already, and we're already seeing a split. There's two guys up the road, and you're going to see Tofik on the right here jump, and I want to follow that because Tofik's definitely somebody to mark. He's very strong. He's predicted to be, I think, top 3 in this race was the race predictor before. Unfortunately, this DCC rider comes in to help, but he almost decks it right there. He comes around, tries to pedal too early, and almost puts it on the ground right in front of me. So I was pretty sketched out, but also thankful that he was going to help me pull. I believe it's 2 Kelly guys in the lead group and another team represented. And we're going to do this effort. He's going to pull off, though. And I'm going to sit here at 700 watts, which is pretty high for me. And I'm going to try to pull this back. I think I do have a teammate in the front. So to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure why I'm doing this. I feel like it's pretty early in the race, so I think in this moment I was thinking that we should try to keep it together. But in hindsight, looking back on this footage, I probably should have just let it roll. To be fair, there were 2 Kelly guys versus my 1 teammate, so it would be pretty difficult for him to stay away because the Kelly guys ideally would just attack him consistently and kind of wear him out if they actually stuck a brake. But I'm going to work to pull this back. We're going to get pulled back together. I'm not doing a crazy high effort. I'm at 350, low 300 watts, which is a little bit above my threshold, but I'm not going to go super crazy. I'm not going to go dig myself super deep for this. I know that I have the field behind me, so I know that, I'm not separated from the group either. But we're going to pull these guys back. This course is very fun. It's very fast. This left turn here is very wide. So there are a bunch of lines through here. This next left turn is the trickier one because the pavement's kind of crap on the inside. And you see here, Kelly Kid's going to move up on the inside, kind of surge up. My teammate Colin is the guy up the road, and that's Alex on NCVC who's going to dive in on the inside. And then I'm going to follow this. So this is a theme. This was basically what was happening the entire race. This race was 40 minutes for the 2-3, which is a little shorter than normal. Normally 2-3 races are about an hour. But you can see we're drilling it here. I'm doing, 28, 29. I'm at 350 watts, and I'm not even really holding the wheel. I'm kind of letting gaps open up. And you can see in my rear cam on the top left, there's already gaps opening. And there were gaps basically all day that either I was trying to close or people behind me or people in front of me were trying to close. And in a race like this, the strategy really is to stay towards the front in the beginning because that's when splits can happen. And if you are on the wrong side of a split on a course like this and they get away, and especially if you can't visibly see them, that's recipe for the breakaway getting away, and you'll never see them again. So I'm trying to monitor the front here with my teammates. We have, I think there were 8 of us or 9 of us in this race, so we definitely wanted to do well. Although to be fair, none of us had actually finished this race with the front pack in years past. So good news this year, we were all able to finish with the front pack, and we did pretty well given our still kind of new experience being Cat 2s. I got my Cat 2 at the beginning of this year. A couple other guys got their Cat 2s recently or are pretty close. So first time for a lot of us being Cat 2s together. But I'm going to continue to roll this. Alex is an engine who's on NCVC on the front. He's going to roll this. He's going to pull off, though, and I'm going to follow this. This Kelly kid is going to roll through a little bit. But then you're going to see on the rear cam on the left, another NCVC guy is going to pull up and pass on the left. And there's going to be no reaction here. We're not really concerned. It's very early. We're only on lap 7 of 27, so not super worried about a break getting away, especially solo. It's pretty hard to do that on this course. Although they did do that in the men's P1 later this afternoon. Brendan Rim on Project Echelon was able to roll away solo for a couple laps. So this kid's going to wave us through. He wants us to pull. I'm a little hesitant, but then we're going to get another Kelly kid who's going to pull through, and I'm going to surge up to follow this. And then you're going to see a guy behind me, and then I believe there's a break. There's a gap after him. And it's single file. This race is almost always single file like this, especially, obviously, if there are attacks going. A little bit later, lap 8, it's going to slow down. You're going to notice I'm doing 23, 24. I'm not going crazy high power, and then the DCC guy comes around again. He was really trying to get something going. He was always trying to throw in attacks. So I'm going to gladly follow this. I'm going to sit in this draft. We're going to hit this 32. That's the fun turn. This left turn here is less fun because you have to scrub a bit of speed. You can take it wide, but you're also coming into the false flat again, and it's really crappy pavement on this straight. So you're dumping watts. You're literally avoiding potholes, and you're just trying to not hit a pothole and get a pinch flat. A little bit later, this is lap 9, another Kelly move on the right. I think Kelly had 6 or 7 guys in this race, so they were able to throw in attacks, and they're all very strong. They're all junior development riders, so they're all very strong. And you're going to see here, I'm going to get swarmed on the inside and outside by Kelly, and this kid almost decks it, like the DCC guy. And this guy in the blue behind him had chirped at him and said that was the second time doing that. So there was a lot of pedal striking in this race. It was mostly safe, but turns like this, it's really hard to be efficient and carry speed sometimes, so you try to pedal as much as you can, as early as you can, and if you aren't sure about where the limits are, where your pedal is going to hit the ground, you can pedal strike like that. Unfortunately, the two that happened in front of me were able to be kept upright, but not everybody is that lucky. So we're going to move forward now. We're on lap 13, so we're about halfway through, and I highlighted there, 2 guys are up the road, so I believe Tofik. Yes, so Tofik, my teammate's telling me Tofik's off the front with somebody else. And this is very threatening because he's very strong, he could roll a break. And then unfortunately right here is going to be a small crash. One of our teammates goes down, he's okay. But that kind of helps the breakaway get a little bit more separation because it caused the rest of the group to slow down out to avoid the crash. So we're going to keep moving here. I also, at one point in the race, had hit a bump and my saddle was pushed very far down. And so I spent most of the race trying to basically keep myself from like sliding forward, which just takes up a lot of energy. And you'll notice in that last little bit, I was moving back because of it. I wasn't really able to put out power. I wasn't able to sit comfortably in the saddle, so it was very hard for me to do effort. There's a pothole there. That one's really big, and that one was where people got pinch flats. So Alex here on NCVC, you're going to see him raise his hand because he and this Kelly guy both hit it pretty hard, and he already knew he got a flat. Alex did. So I'm going to move up here, and then another crash. I think this one was just cross wheels. I think everybody's okay, but I really, really lost my momentum, and my saddle is still really messed up. So I choose to sit up here, and I'm going to roll around the course, and then I'm going to take my free lap. Because I think we still have 10 laps to go, and free laps are over with 8 to go. So I just made the cutoff for getting a free lap. I need to fix my saddle, because I cannot do anything important in this race if my saddle is the way it is. So I'm going to pull into the pit. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to tell them, hey, can you guys like really quickly fix my saddle? And they're going to push us through. If you don't know how free laps work, you can take a lap if you have a mechanical issue, and then they'll throw you back into the race. For this race, you have free laps until 8 laps to go, so once you're within the 8 lap to go period, you cannot take a free lap, and if you get a mechanical, your race is over. So a lot of guys choose to take the free lap after that crash on the straightaway, and the breakaway already is gone. Tofik and the other rider are already way up the road from the peloton. They've already actually passed the neutral service pit, and then right now we're about to be thrown in with the peloton, and you're going to see my power spike up. The highest, I think, the peak power in this race was right here. So you're just going from a dead stop. We don't have push-offs in this race, and I'm already over 1,000 watts just trying to get back in. Fortunately, the pace wasn't super high for the Peloton, so I was able to jump back in. But that was a match that I wasn't planning on spending, and that's a match that I now don't have for the end. But the saddle's better, it feels much better, and now I need to move up. Okay, so now I'm basically at the pointy end of the race. Again, the break of 2 is gone already, so this is just the race for third now. Alex on NCVC here still on the front. There's a District Taco person. And I don't want to pull through necessarily because I don't want to be on the front any more than I have to. But I'm going to sit here, and then there's going to be a attack here on the right, and I'm going to follow this. So this is an Otterhouse rider. He puts in a pretty good dig, and you can see in the rear cam the damage it's already doing. We have another rider following, but there's already splits of the field. And you're going to see that, especially when we make this turn here, you're going to see the kind of gap and just the single file of the race. So I want to follow this. I'm going to let him do as much work as possible. And he's going to hold a consistent pace here. We're not going super fast, but fast enough where we can get separation and nobody's going to come around us. We have this little bit of a gap, like half-second gap behind. He's going to look back and notice that I'm with him. And then he's going to flick me through here in a couple of seconds. And I'm going to kind of pull through here because I see the separation that we have. And I figure if we can do another breakaway from the Peloton and race for third, that'd be great. I like my chances better in a breakaway than a pack sprint. But then, if you see in the rear cam, and I'm going to notice this when I come out of this turn and I'm able to look behind me, the group is all back together. So I'm not going to do more work. So I'm going to do a little bit of a surge here, 500-600 watts, just to keep the pace, 24 miles an hour, so not super fast. 171 heart rate, 172 is pretty manageable for a crit. And then you're going to see on the right side the DCC guy once again moving up, so I am happy to follow that. The Otterhouse guy is going to do the same. NCC guy here, and then I'm going to jump on his draft. There was nobody else behind him, so I was able to snag that spot in the line. And this is good. So we have 5 laps to go. We're on lap 22 of 27. And this is a good position. I don't want to be too far forward, but I speak too soon. So fast forward a little bit more. My teammate Spencer actually was just on the front before this. And now I'm on the front. My teammate Colin's behind me. We have a little bit of a gap. But to be honest, I'm not quite sure why I'm up here. Usually, if you are on the front of a race, you need to have a reason for doing so. And I'm not trying to chase the breakaway back, because at this point there's no way for us to bring it back. And Colin here just said, he asked if I wanted to go for third from the group. So I say yes, and he's going to pull through. And if this were 1 lap to go and he were on the front and now we're in second, this would be a great strategy. In hindsight, we got on the front a little too early because the group behind is able to just sit in our draft. And as strong as Colin is, he can't hold this forever for 3 laps. Especially at the pace that we need to go in order to avoid people coming around. And you can see in the rear cam we're getting swarmed here. And then there's this dangerous move here on the left. So this is with 2 to go. This is Espresso coaching on the front and then NCVC in second. I'm going to come around here from Colin. I'm going to say, I got this, thank you. And then I'm going to pop in here. Because now I know the Espresso guys are strong and I know that the NCVC guy here is strong. So I'm going to follow this move. And I'm going to hope that they're going to take me to the promised land of the finish. But then I noticed that the Espresso coaching guy kind of looks over his shoulder. He's not probably going 100% here on this pull. And you can see in the rear cam again, we're getting kind of swarmed. It's not quite single file, which means it's not very fast. And then the left here, boom, another Espresso coaching guy makes the move over the top. And I don't know if they strategize this, but it's a very good move because now this Espresso guy on the orange bike doesn't have to chase. So the Espresso guy and the Taco guy get up the road. And I know that I have to follow this because this late in the race, this is a pretty dangerous move. And the Espresso guys, like I said, are very strong. I know that they can hold high power for a long period of time. So I'm going to kick it up here. This Espresso guy is going just fast enough for me to sit in his draft. So I'm not going to go around him yet, but I know that I'm making sure that this gap here between us doesn't get too big. because it would be very easy for this guy on the orange bike to sit up and just let his teammate ride away, and then I would have to do a huge surge to catch up. So I'm monitoring the gap. We're not very far behind. He's doing this pull. I'm happily taking it. And then here, with 1 lap to go, I need to move up because this is the race. So I'm going to come around this guy. He's going to slow up. I'm going to take this match. I'm going to burn it. I'm going to move it on the inside here. I'm going to hit this turn as fast as I can. Again, this turn's hard to get right. I'm almost at the barriers. I think I like ran over one of the feet with my tire. And I'm trying to go as hard as I can. To be honest, I'm pretty burnt out. I've done a lot of work on the front, kind of for no reason, and I do not have many matches left. So I'm going to try to move up here. There's still a gap, and you're going to see me get swarmed here. And this is not good. I should have tried to move up earlier to those two guys, and now I'm just going to get swarmed here. At this point, I think I'm just going to try to go for what I can. So I'm going to come around this turn here and just kick as much as I can here. I really don't have much left. I think max power on this last straight, almost 900, not even. And I'm just getting past these guys. Most of these guys didn't really do any work on the front, so they were very fresh. And that's what you get. So I come in 12th, first for our team, for meta, which is nice. Everybody did really well. Flo there on the left, he just came through. He was 2 spots behind me. Everybody did really well. We raced very good. We are still learning how to race together, and especially at the Cat 2 level, we're learning how to really put it all together and to be more efficient. But happy with that. First time finishing this race, and pretty solid result. So hope to get better next year. Thanks again for watching, and please like and subscribe if you like this content. I will hopefully be trying to put more up now that I kind of figured out how Garmin Verb works. And yeah, thanks for watching.
We got up on the front too early. Good shit though, dude. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Where'd you get in the end? I think you're right in front of me. Like, probably 11. Maybe, yeah.